General Gantz, thank you for being with us on I-24 News. I need to address the breaking news that we've received. There's an operation about to undergo in Gaza. Another rocket attack in central Tel Aviv. 7 people injured. This is the second rocket attack on Israel, on central Israel, in less than 10 days. If you were Prime Minister now, how would you respond to this?
First, I think he did good by going back to Israel. I think it's important. We should have a massive retaliation back. We must restore the deterrence that we had after Protective Edge. We cannot accept whatsoever any kind of attack from Gaza Strip, whether it's to the southern villages or whether it's to the central of Israel. We will have to retaliate firmly.
How would you do that? If you were Prime Minister now, would that retaliation involve a ground invasion?
That we should leave this to the operational echelons to discuss with the Prime Minister and currently under his...
But this is a role that you want to take, and you certainly have the military qualifications.
I'm saying.
So how would you handle it?
Definitely, but as a general and as a security guy, I will not tell my plans in front of the camera. What I would say that I will use all means, air, land, sea, whatever it takes, defensive or offensive. We are by far stronger than Hamas. Hamas knows it, and he will feel it now.
General, you of course have a lot of experience with Gaza and Hamas. You were the Chief of Staff during the last Gaza war, in charge of Operation Protective Edge. And some in Israel and elsewhere have criticized your leadership in that operation. They said that the operation took too long, over 50 days, 51 days, that it produced negligible results, that about 67 Israeli soldiers were killed. They claim that the IDF wasn't prepared for ground maneuvers. And some have also criticized your comments where you said you wanted to take the moral high ground and you sent in troops at the expense of their lives, potentially, in order to minimize Palestinian civilian casualties. Many in Israel took that to mean that you put a higher worth on the lives of Palestinian civilians than the lives of Israeli soldiers. How do you respond to that?
First, I disagree with the criticism. It's true that we are in a democratic country, and it's true that political persons come up with issues and increase them by far more than reality for political reasons. Protective Edge was a very complex operation. We need to deal with 32 zones of tunnels, which we did. We maneuvered in when the government decided to do so, and we went one by one and took care of everything. Militaries always take higher risk on themselves. That's the way military operates. I think we should keep the moral high ground. We will do it here today. I think we are as strong when we combine between military strength and moral standards that we need to keep. Don't get it wrong, and I'm sure that the Israeli knows it. When it comes running the dilemma between offensive operation and defending our country, will go for offensive operation and will take care of our civilians. No one was injured because of morality. It never happened. When people talk about this case, when Golani Brigade was inside near a hospital, we told them that we are taking care of the hospital. They have to be undercover. We made sure that this hospital is absolutely empty, and we wiped it out after we made sure it was empty. I think this is what Jewish soldiers, and every soldier, should do in the future.
General Gantz, I need to address some of the comments that you made recently that have been gaining a lot of attention back in Israel. You made some comments about Prime Minister Netanyahu. You were recorded making those comments. This was reported on Israel's Channel 13. I'm going to give you and our viewers the translation of what you said. You basically said that if Prime Minister Netanyahu had a way for me to get hurt, for me to get killed, he would do it. You went on to say, would the old Netanyahu, the one I know, want me to get hurt? The answer is no. Would the Benjamin Netanyahu of the eve of the election want me to get hurt? Regretfully, I would say so. You're essentially accusing the Prime Minister of Israel of trying to hurt you, physically harm you. Did you mean that literally? Do you really believe that?
No, I talked in a private discussion. It came out great journalist activity. I'm not saying it's not. Unfortunately, I'm a rival of Netanyahu. I don't think he tried to hurt me physically, but if he'd like to see me being hurt in any other way, maybe. Netanyahu is in a very desperate political situation and hope that nothing more than that. I wish him all the best, but I will say thank you, Netanyahu. Your time is up. Now we continue.
Would you care to qualify the other comments that were also recorded then, including that you believe that Netanyahu may have been working with the Russians to hack your phone? Now, granted, you did say that that was a low probability, in your opinion. Do you want to clarify those comments for us?
I'm saying that all those things are option, and you guys need to check it.
General Gantz, we're here at AIPAC. AIPAC supports a two-state solution. What is your position on that?
My position is to make sure that Israel stays a Jewish state, a democratic state, and everything but a binational country.
What do you mean by that? Do you support a two-state solution?
Yeah, we should promote any accord that can lead us to have a future, quiet, safe Israel for all its citizens and for the Jewish people.
AIPAC supports a two-state solution. What is your position on that?
I support that we will not control other people. I support that we maintain Judaism as the main issue of Israel, Jewish democratic state, and we should make sure that it doesn't become.
Does that include the nation-state law?
Includes that we are willing to discuss whatever can be discussed with any candidate leader, just as I said in my speech. Any serious candidate leader that wants to solve this issue. What will be the very end outcome of it? It should be discussed at the end of the process and not at the
Do you
beginning.
have a vision of what an independent Palestinian state would look like, especially considering Israeli security?
I'm talking about the entity that we see now that can change itself into so many different ways. We don't want to run other people's life. We don't want to run their welfare. We don't want to run their infrastructure. We don't want to run their economy. We want to live safe in our country. We will take care of the security and the perimeters, all the external perimeters. We will make sure that we have in our hands the security all over the area, because once we give this up, it will ruin down the Palestinian Authority and it will damage us. We have seen it before. So when we're looking at future arrangement, those things has to follow our security consideration, and this is what we will do.
General Gantz, you're here at AIPAC, which is a huge political spotlight for you. Your political experience has been criticized, or lack thereof has been criticized, as being a hindrance to you taking the role of Prime Minister. Limited political experience, limited experience in the business sector, as your critics would say. Why are you qualified to be the Prime Minister of Israel? You support many of the same policies as Prime Minister Netanyahu. We heard you say that in the speech today. Why are you qualified to lead Israel?
Michelle, I have by far more experience than what Benjamin Netanyahu had when he started to be a Prime Minister. I was the Chief of Staff of Israel Defense Forces. I've gained perspective more than he ever had perspective before he started. I will understand the responsibilities they lay on me, and I have no doubt that I will make a great Prime Minister.
So your main criticism against Netanyahu is as an individual as opposed to his policies?
It has to do nothing with policies, with some of them which I agree and many of them which I don't. I think Netanyahu made his share, made his tenure. We will take it from here. We'll tell him thank you, but we will move forward.
You mentioned the Trump administration in your speech. Do you think you too could have a good relationship with the president?
I think that we can have great relationship with the Americans, regardless of who is the president. Bipartisanship is a very important thing for us all, and we will continue this way.
What is your message to Israeli supporters here in America?
I will tell the Americans that they have no other Israel in the world. I will tell the Israelis they have no other United States in the world, and this is something that will continue forever.